Suzuka 18 CB 77 Honda, 72 Honda, and also endurance title winning machine from FIM endurance race 2024, and we won Le Mans 24 hours, and second in Spa 8 hours, and third in the Suzuka 8 hour, and we won last one, Bordeaux 24 hours. Then we won the championship. And second time, we won the 2021 as well. But anyway, so we have a bike to watch, and we can answer you any question if you ask me. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Fujio-san. Appreciate it. And having the first Yoshimura bike that started the company with Pop is amazing. So thank you so much for being here. Quite an honor. And speaking of honors, I mentioned we've got a stacked deck. So our 2013 legend of the sport, good friend Wayne Rainey, three-time MotoGP world champion, among many other accolades, is here. And a little bit of a surprise, thanks to our good friends at Yamaha and Bob Starr in particular, the first American road racing world champion, Mr. Steve Baker. Steve, I can't believe you're here. Welcome. So you guys have history amongst all of you, and Troy, I know you tend to thread the needle between a lot of them. I heard rumors you used to paint bikes for Wayne back in the day.
Yeah, I painted his flat track bikes, and when I was in an airplane hangar. It was cool.
That's after your parents kicked you out of the garage?
I kicked out of the garage, and I moved into a house, and then I started working too late and too many nights in the neighborhood. So then I had to get an airplane hangar. And then by the time I left there, I had like 4 airplane hangars, because I started making visors and t-shirts and stickers and painting planes too, so it was cool.
What don't you do?
I gotta be careful. Sometimes it's too easy to get started on new directions.
Well, we've got
It was hard to get him here, Gordo, because of his, his Supercross project with Ducati, and he's got his hand in everything in all motorsports. So we're very lucky to have him here today.
Absolutely, and it's all because of you, Wayne. It started with a conversation, and you're like, hey, what about Troy? Let's see if we can get Troy up here, and here you are. So I love your history together. I know, Steve, you're a little bit before Wayne's time, but you guys share American World Championships in common. That's awfully impressive.
Well, to sit here with Wayne is quite a. I looked up to riders after my time, and what job they did, to sit next to a champion as caliber of Wayne Rainey is incredible. I was really lucky to be able to go to Europe, in the mid 70s and have the help of Yamaha and win a championship at that time. We just kind of got our foot in the door, us Americans, with the, how competitive we were. I really miss that, that we don't have more Americans over there now. But for a while there, the American presence in road racing was very, very strong. We had a lot of talent here. We still have a lot of talent here, and Wayne's helping that out with Moto America stuff, and so hopefully we're going to have some more Americans over there showing the Europeans how to do it. So.
Absolutely. I know 1977 was a really big year for you. The Daytona 200. I think you finished second in the 500 championship behind Barry Sheen, and you won the 750 championship. That's a lot in a year, Steve.
Well, it was a pretty busy year, and it was a really tough year for me because I hadn't seen any of the racetracks, hadn't competed at the racetracks that all the Europeans had many, many times. So it was a learning year for me, and I fell off a lot in practice, and then I had to push the 500s to start things, and that was, I didn't do very well at that, so it was a very trying year, but the 750 championship came my way, and I just wish I had get a chance at a year or two later, with the same machines, and I really wanted to win a 500 championship. That's what Yamaha wanted to do. I made it halfway there, winning the 750 championship, but you know, from being from a small town in Washington State and starting out dirt tracking, and all of a sudden being in Europe riding the World Championship Series is something that I never dreamed of coming true, and it did. And with the help of Yamaha, you know, I had some success. So.
What an amazing dream to come true, actually, you know. And I think you mentioned coming out of the flat track series. I think, Wayne, to your point earlier, the throttle control is such a big deal in road racing, right? And I think your Talent Cup is amazing what you're doing in Moto America right now, teaching young kids how to control the throttle on asphalt.
Yeah, I mean that's a new class for us in Moto America this year. So we actually built a bike that was based off of GP, like a Moto 3 bike. It's a spec series. The ages are from 14 to 20 years old, and the top 5 kids at the end of the year will get an automatic tryout in the Red Bull Rookies Cup in Europe. And if they get selected, they will be racing at 9 MotoGP races in Europe on a spec bike there. So it's a big opportunity for our young lads coming up. But you know, you talk about throttle control. I went over there and saw Steve earlier over there at Bob Starr's Yamaha display, and there's that TZ 750 that he had to ride. I think it was 1975.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that bike thinking, you had to be crazy to ride something like that out there on a flat track bike. But something like that teaches you throttle control. And then for him to go on and do what he did in his career, road racing from the state of Washington, having, I believe it was Yamaha Canada backing. I just remember reading about Steve because I was flat tracking then, and his iconic 32, number 32. So yeah, you did a lot to pave the way for us Americans coming in after you. So thank you.
All right.
That's awesome. And Wayne, what's up with the rumor? I guess it's not a rumor anymore. So, you know, people thought you were crazy when you added baggers to your Moto America series, right? And now I'm hearing there's baggers in Europe with MotoGP. What's that all about?
Yeah, you know, so we're on our 11th year now in Moto America, and we had this crazy idea we looked at a couple of different classes to try to create some new spectators coming to the track. One of them, actually Brock Lever brought me the idea. It was a Triumph Scramblers, to race that inside our paddock, the big paddocks where we had a lot of grass and stuff. And then the other idea that they brought was this bagger. And the bagger thing would have been a lot easier for me to do because we already had the track. But at that time, nobody had seen a bagger go around any kind of asphalt track anywhere. So a couple of months later, they brought me a video of somebody doing a track day on it. And I thought, well, yeah, maybe there's an audience there for that. So I ran it by my partners, Richard Varner and Chuck Axon. They looked at me like I'd lost my marbles. And but I said, hey, maybe this could be something new that could drive attendance. And I think it's our 5th year doing that. And I remember the first year we did the baggers, it was the year of the pandemic. So we did it at Laguna Seca, and there was absolutely no spectators at the track. But we had 150 journalists for that, like from Popular Mechanics and publications like that. So here we are. But now, so MotoGP's doing they have a bagger class, but it's basically a spec series. I mean, I think if they raced their series, it's an all Harley Davidson series.
Got it.
Yeah. So if they had to race against our bagger class, we would smoke them.
Hopefully that happens. Let's bring the match races back, right? With baggers this time.
Never know.
And Troy, tell us about this adventure with Ducati next year in Supercross. So you're the Ducati team, right? Can we talk about riders? You're not bringing anybody new in, I'm guessing. Who's going to jump ship? Not here.
Really, we're still dating. I mean, I don't have a contract, to be honest with you here. I think we're the right people to do it, and we have a contract for this year, and we're developing the motorcycle, so I think it'll fall in place. I'm probably telling you guys too much, but
not enough.
We're testing and developing and testing some riders, and really, Ducati's been super fair about the whole thing. They're saying, hey, if it's not perfect, let's not go racing yet. So I mean, really, we just We got some prototype bikes a couple months ago. A month ago, we got the first 2 top-up production bikes because they have to be homologated for Supercross. So we can't change the frames and all that. So we're testing Supercross last week for the first time. Been motocross for the last month, testing with some riders. Motocross is going really well. Supercross, we're still adjusting some things, but now we're starting to put the riders that we really are looking for on it. So now we're gonna be able to tell if we got our act together or not. You know, I mean, Yamaha and Honda have been doing this for 50 years, and they do an amazing job. And to catch those, you know, to go out there and, you know, they want to be on the podium. That's what Ducati said. We need to be on the podium. So we're gonna pull the trigger when it's right.
Takes a big effort. So how do you go from the paint booth to the boardroom? How does that work?
I just keep surrounding myself with great people.
That's the key, huh? Wow.
It's a lot of fun, really. I mean, I still, painting is my passion, and I go nuts if I don't paint something at least once or twice a week, you know. But I even have a little studio in Laguna where I can go down and do some canvas work and just paint whatever I want. Because a lot of times I'm kind of painting something to accomplish something, but doing canvases, I just paint what I want to paint, which is kind of fun.
Well, if you ever get bored, I've got a helmet that could use your help. I could send you home with it. So, Steve, you just got back from Germany. You just were riding a session ring, right? You were out riding an old race bike.
Yeah,
It's still popular over there, right?
Yeah, people seem to still know who I am. You know, Yamaha Heritage Club had an event there to celebrate 70 years of Yamaha racing. And so they brought Carlos Checa in to ride a fairly current YZR 500 two-stroke. And, you know, they had lots of TZ250s, 350s, you know, private bikes, as well as some special bikes that the Yamaha factory brought up. So yeah, it's just a big celebration for Yamaha's racing history. And, you know, I got to ride with Graham Reed, which is Phil Reed's son. You know, got to ride with Carlos and stuff like that. It's just a special time for me, and Sachsenring is a really cool place to ride. And there's a couple of corners that, you know, I don't go that fast anymore, but there's a couple of corners I really wanted to work on, and it makes it a lot funner if you can find a good line around a corner, you know. And Sachsenring has a couple of areas where it's like 3 corners in one, you know, and if you do it just right, it feels good, you know, and I accomplished that, you know. So, you know, it's just a lot of fun still to throw a leg over one of those, and you know, be safe while you're doing it, because the bikes are so expensive anymore. If you fell off one, you'd be in big trouble. So anyway, no, I really enjoy it, and I definitely enjoy being with my Yamaha family over there. So
Absolutely. I also think it's great that you're over there reminding the Europeans of the American that kicked their butts. Love that. Love that. So Wade, tell us about Moto America's coming up in July at Laguna Seca. What do you have on schedule there? I want to hear about it.
Well, we have super bikes, you know. It's still our premier class, and it's an amazing show when you come to see them live. I mean, those bikes up over turn 1, I think, are close to 175 miles an hour, and that's coming out of the last corner at about 30. So they accelerate really hard. They're a good show. I also do, it's called Rainey's Ride to the Races. So we do a ride that we raise funds for airbags, air fence. And so this year I'm actually going to ride with the guys around the track. So it'll be the first time I've ridden at the track since, I think, 91. So looking forward to it.
Everybody catch that? Wayne's riding at Laguna Seca in July.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My wife's not too happy about it. But,
Shay, put the earplugs in. That's going to be amazing.
yeah.
What are you riding?
It's a XSR 900 GP. So the bike was made special for my situation. So it's got a couple of buttons on the bar. It's got one that it's an automatic, because it's a 3-cylinder 900cc street bike. And then the other button is I can do button shift. up and down just by hitting the buttons. But the thing that really freaks me out is that there's no clutch cable there. Or no clutch lever, because you know, back when I raced, I always rode with my fingers on the clutch, riding 2 strokes. So when all else fails, grab the clutch, right? That's not there, so you're not supposed to hear that, Shay.
That's new. That's going to be exciting. I think the races out there are going to be exciting. I think bikes on Laguna are always exciting. Moto America in itself, it's really great. You know, Steve, you were talking about the enthusiasm of riding over in Europe and finding younger riders. I think Moto America is doing a great job, particularly with your Talent Cup. Try and find the next Steve Baker, the next Wayne Rainey.
Yeah, it's been great. You know, this is the first year that we've done this, the spec class, to really focus on trying to get the youngsters to ride this style of bike and try to get them over into Europe soon. So because that's where the hotbed of racing is, as far as the MotoGP teams looking at riders. But there's a big interest in the U.S. riders right now. I think with Liberty coming on board to take over MotoGP, they want to make it a more international sport, and I think they're looking to America to see, you know, where's the youngsters coming up through here. So it's a great opportunity for young Americans to make it. We've also got riders from Australia and Japan and South America also competing in this, and they also have a shot there too. So, you know, the series that class is working really well. You know, of all the things that we have done in the last few years, this is by far the biggest interest we've had from, you know, the fans and the industry in itself. You know, as an example, Ducati, they own a team, Yamaha owns a team, American Honda owns a team. Kenny Roberts, the king, is back in the paddock because of this class. And the chassis are made in Germany, and they're called a Kramer. And the engine's 350 KTM. So it's kind of odd to see these bikes painted up in their own colors, but yet it doesn't have their engine in it. So that's the interest in how important this class is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Troy, are you involved in any of those? Not yet?
Not yet. I'm trying to just get to the finish line on a couple other projects, and then I'm going to join Wayne and see how I can help.
I like it. You know, I just want to, I'll wrap up by asking you, Troy, you've designed so many iconic liveries. I know we were talking about Jim Busby earlier, mutual friend. I think he had a hand in getting your kind of foot in the door with motorsports and graphics and liveries, etc. Do you have a favorite that you've done over the years? You've done so many. Is there anything that stands out that's like, you know what, that one, I mean, this is obviously something else. But is there one that stands out as, you know, that's the one I really got the way I wanted to do it?
You know, I like doing a lot of weird projects, whether it's guitars or, you know, helmets for Notre Dame, or, you know, I mean, even Jim Busby's cars when I was, you know, a young kid painting them. That was really what got me started. But, you know, it's fun working with certain athletes. Like Jeremy McGrath would let me always kind of cut loose and put wings and lights and flags and dingle balls in the bottom of his helmets. And so I really it's more about finding the person that lets you go, you know, run with your dreams. And we did some really cool art cars with Porsche for Le Mans, where we put a tribute to all the drivers that have won for Porsche over the years with all the flags. And that was really cool because I got to kind of build it in and hand paint a lot of it in France, you know. So working with a group over there and kind of a new team, kind of said, okay, this is the plan. And I always love when I bring my paint box, because I'm basically started out as a sign painter, and I still call myself a sign painter, and that's where I started, and that's what I still love.
Well, I'd say Yoshimura kind of let you turn loose a little bit. This is this is wild.
Yeah, that was a super fun project. And that's the excitement I always love. You know, I drew up 3 or 4 different ideas, and then when I drew up the ideas, we're going back and forth on colors, and then I went, wow, if we split this down the middle, it's going to be at Laguna Seca. It's going to be so cool to see it flip down the corkscrew. And then when I took it to them, and they thought it was a great idea, they let me run with it. That was just I remember driving back from there with, I think I took some of my artists over with me to show them the drawings, and said, well, I guess we got our hands full. This is going to be a big 2-month project here to get this to the finish line, because we did 2 sets of plastic all the way through it, in case they did crash it. Getting everything to line up, and then to do the leathers and the helmet and then everything together. That's what I really like doing. That's what's so fun about this Ducati project is I love doing the motorcycle stands, the toolboxes, the semi, the gear, the helmets, and coordinating the new sponsors that we're pulling together for this project. It's fun putting the whole package together.
You do an amazing job. You really do.
Thank you.
Well, this has been quite an honor. Welcome as our 2025 Legend of the Sport, Wayne Rainey. Always great to see you, Wayne. And Steve, what a
Thanks for all
pleasure.
you
to have-
do.
Well, you guys are amazing. This is, we said we'd stack the deck, and you guys did it. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Gordon.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure.
And we've got an award for you, Troy. I don't have anything for you, Wayne, Steve. Sorry.
My award's Troy.
Wow, I'm just so lucky to hang out with these guys. I used to watch Steve race, and I was just I worked for Jim for Molly painting the Yamaha stripes on the bikes, and when I saw the white and red one come out, I was like, whoa, that's so cool. I mean, it was those are the kind of things that just keep moving me forward in life. And watching you race too, and painting your flat track bike and my airplane hangar, that was cool.
Well, Troy, I was hoping I could mention this, but after I was done racing, and then I did my team in Europe, and then I came home, and I was just kind of thinking about what's my next move, and then Eddie got me into the supercart racing, and so I didn't really know what to drive these supercarts around Laguna Seca at a minute 25 was like pretty scary, but I wasn't really sure what to do, and I guess my wife was trying to get me excited again, but she had reached out to you unbeknownst to me and gave you a helmet, and she asked you if you would paint a helmet for me to think about racing again. And I thought that was always very special that she would do that, but also that you took the time and you come up with a really cool design. And you, at the time, it was kind of all the F1 drivers had like a spot around the top edge of their helmet, and you made that special for me, and that was that's what got my juices going and got me back racing again. So I appreciate that gesture.
Oh, that's awesome. No, that's what's so fun about painting helmets. I get to work with so many amazing athletes around the world, and it's kind of the last piece that they get to really put their hands and be involved in it, and you get to know a lot of from some of the helmets we've done turned into tattoos, but it's cool hearing the inside scoop on the new sponsors and the new teams that they join, and seeing kids even like Cage over there. We've been working with Cage, and he's been since he's been on 60s, and just lately he's been really going fast lately, and it's just cool to see work with cool families and just keep pushing them forward and being part of these people's lives.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Cage, he's I don't know if you guys don't know about him. He's the new young flat tracker here from Salinas that went out there and smoked everybody at the first couple AFT races. So Doug Chandler's trying to get him to think about road racing a little bit. So we'll see how all that ends up.
A young one coming up through the ranks. We need it. We need it. Well, thank you guys so much. It's absolutely our honor to have you here with us. Really appreciate it. And everyone enjoy the rest of the day. We've got awards coming up shortly. There's lots to see today. And finally, the sun is definitely coming out. So thank you all. Thank you, gents.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Gordon.